All right. Hey guys, we are here. We were just getting everything together. Let me pull up chat so I can see everybody's who's here. I've got Melissa with me, not to be mistaken
Hey
for Mel.
everyone.
Yeah, explain who you are. You're not Mel. You're Melissa.
Yes, I'm Melissa B. I'm one of Jay's mods. I'm not Mel.
But Mel will be joining us in a little bit here. She's going to pop on. We're going to start reading these text messages between Sherilyn and Cindy. Wow. Hi, everybody. Hey, Crime Bent Grandma. Crime Bent Grandma said, hi, Melissa B.
Hi, Crime Bent Grandma.
Hey, guys. I love it. There's so many new people. This is your first live. Welcome, Candace H. What's up, Prepper? Prepper's got his wrench out. Welcome, Shaquila. Shaquila said that's her first time here, too. Give all the newbies a big warm welcome, you guys. That is too fast, Jay. Slow it down. I should have just put it on slow to begin with. So we do have the text between Sherilyn and Cindy. These, from what I just was told before I went live, this is not all of them. This is some of them. Whether or not we're going to get the rest of them, I'm not sure quite yet. It sounded like we will, but we will have to wait and see on that. But the ones that we do have to show you are pretty interesting. So let me get the chat slowed down. Let me get Mel. Mel just texted me she needs the number again. Then we will start reading. Melissa, you're going to be Cadel.
Yes, of course.
She fought me for it. I told her I would do it, and she fought about it. She was like, no, I want to be Cadel.
We had to do a coin toss, remember?
I know, but you really didn't. You wanted to do it anyway, so I kind of gave in. And
I like to read, so I wanted to do the one that has more reading.
Yeah. A lot of reading for you. All right. How much should I slow it down, you guys? 20 seconds? That'd be good?
I would do 20.
20 or 30? I don't want to do it too long. Well, we'll do 25 and we'll see how that goes. If it needs more, I'll go back and slow it down more, but I don't want to slow it down too much.
Someone wants to know, where did these texts come from?
Okay, so these came right from Cindy. Yep, these are from her iPhone. Don't slow down that prepper guy. Okay, so you have them in front of you. I'm going to put them up on the screen as we go. And so let's start. Are you ready, Melissa?
Yes, I am ready.
Some water? You're going to be reading a lot?
Yes, I have. No, I actually have some pop. I don't drink water.
I love how you say pop, too. Pop. Girls. We are pop girls, not soda. Okay. So here we have text number 1. And I'm going to start because I'm Cindy. Okay. You said Chris has final approval. You said it's about his testimony and journey with Christ. You didn't say it was about the crime and what we don't know. You need to call Ronnie. We want to know what you're putting in this book. Chris has a right to know. He wants to know. He asked his father to call you.
Cindy, you told me you didn't want to know because Chris told you to read the book. You have been all upset before because you didn't know the answers. I asked you 2 times if you wanted to know, and you said no, you wanted to wait for the book. You are the ones who caused this. I have done nothing to you. Yet, because of some bitch in North Dakota that decided to prejudge me and lie on me and treat me like dirt on her feet for absolutely no reason, you guys just treated me like I was your enemy. You have no idea what I put in the book. Chris is a grown man. Why don't you guys stop trying to control everything? My attorney is sending Shannon Johnston a letter, and trust me, this letter is not a bluff. She better stop. Why do you want to connect yourself with someone like her? And because of it, that's the reason I won't send the book to you. Chris has had pretty much all day, so you shouldn't worry. I'm not going to keep dealing with this every day. I do not have any obligation to let you read my book. I will not allow you to control me. You hurt me to the core. I did nothing to cause you to treat me the way you have. I did not betray you in any way. I was a true friend to you all. I guess I didn't realize the kind of people I was dealing with. I talked to Chris on Sunday. He knows I won't send you the book. He didn't seem to have problems with it because I told him I won't. My publisher and attorney has told me no, I can't.
Okay, I was trying to keep up with you. Fun. Okay.
I should have went a little slower.
No, it's okay. It's all right. I just my slideshow wasn't working, but now it is. So, we're at my publisher and attorney has told me no, I can't. So here's Cindy. You don't have my permission to use any pictures I sent you. You lied. You said it was about his testimony and journey with Christ, but yet you market it as a crime confession. Shame on you. I thought you were a good person, that Christ was leading you to Chris.
Oh my goodness. Stop, Sydney. Don't judge me. The book is no different than I have ever told you. I took down my Facebook because of you and told my publisher to use different taglines. The Facebook post is me not being qualified to market the book. That's all. Christopher has confessed to the world 2 times. Do you really think that's all my book is about? There are many things he didn't tell the FBI that is in the letters he tells me to put this in the book. He is the only one who could give me things for the book. I defend you all greatly in the book, and now I'm sorry I did. If you're going by a couple little Facebook posts, that's really sad. This book has the ability to help Chris appeal and get a reduced sentence. Did all of you think the book wouldn't be marketed? And for your info, I am a good person, and God did bring me to this, and I have written what I know God wants. Oh, where did it? What God wants in the book. I have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of.
This is so confusing.
There's so many.
I know. So the one you just read is. Did you hear that? Jeez, oh Pete.
Can you guys hear me?
Hi, Mel.
Yes, we can hear you, Mel. Hi, Mel.
Hey.
Okay, so you need to call my husband. That's what Chris wants.
Oh gosh. I've changed Facebook. Oh my God.
Jay.
Yeah, what's up? What's wrong?
You've got to try to sound a little bit more concerned. Can you call my husband?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have to use that accent?
You're going to have to be Southern. Yes.
Oh, I don't do a good Southern, but I'll try.
Seriously? Well, I don't do a good Michigander. I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank God too, I'm from Illinois and I don't have to change my accent.
Okay, so you need to call my husband. All right, where am I? This is a cluster with these screenshots, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, they're not in order.
No, it's
But I
okay.
think the
It's close enough. So you need to call my husband. That's what Chris wants.
no, she's not that kind of a
Well,
Southerner.
I've
She's
never
very.
talked to her, so I don't know. Okay. You need to call my husband. That's not what Chris wants.
You just have like a really Joe Dirt accent. I'm just saying. Like, whenever you try to do it,
What, when I said that's what Chris wants?
won't.
That's how G Dog talks.
Just
So that's
just do it in your regular
Joe
voice.
Dirt.
You that was a horrible idea. I should never
It
have
was. It really was. That was not well thought
y'all
out now.
do what you're saying, and I'll step off.
Okay. All right. So now we're on the one that it starts at the top. It says I've changed Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Sherilyn.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy. I've changed Facebook and took everything down. That sounds like it's telling something about the crime. Can you please put a stop to this, Shannon, or I'm having my attorney take care of her tomorrow. She's the most wicked person I've ever seen. Why? If you guys want to reimburse me the $10,000 I spent on this book, I'll drop the whole thing. My nerves can't take it anymore. Okay.
I know they're sorts. So.
Well, yeah, the next one is cut off. It starts with a cut off text saying, a shame you can't. Oh my gosh. Well, what is the next thread?
Okay, so I think the next one is me, actually. You don't have my permission to say anything I wrote to you or text you. I want nothing to do with this book.
Oh boy.
And then that's for
Oh my, yeah.
OMG.
OMG, would you give it up already? If I wanted to put things you told me in the book, you can't stop me. But I am not writing about you. And you need to stop smearing my name because I'm at a point of suing you and your daughter. I don't know what you think is in my book, but it's nothing like you have conjured in your mind to be. You are going to have major egg on your face when you see how you guys have spent months trying to cause me trouble for no reason. You have yourself tied to lunatics out there, and if someone doesn't agree with you that Chris isn't guilty, you want to slam them. You're so stupid that you guys are putting things in the media that you think I have in my book, but it's nothing like you. Okay. Oh my gosh.
What's the matter?
It cut off. Hold on. You're so stupid that you guys are putting things in the media that you think I have in. It would be so funny if it wasn't so pathetic, but let me tell you, there are slander laws and you have crossed them. If you want my attorney's number, I'll be glad to give it to you. He will chew you up. It's really too bad Christopher has to deal with this crap while he's sitting in prison because his mother won't let him do anything she hasn't approved of. The next time my name is
Smeared. The next.
I don't
The
have
next
that
time
one.
my name is smeared on this penniless YouTube crap.
Hold on. I don't have that one.
All right, I'll read the rest of that one then. It just says, because his mother won't let him do anything she hasn't approved of, the next time my name is smeared on this penniless YouTube crap, I'm coming after you and Jamie, and you can count on it. So Cindy says, we are a family grieving the loss of our family. All is lost to us. You have the nerve to say this to us? What's wrong with you? Jamie and I aren't conspiring against you. You did this by lies. You led him and us to believe this was a testimony. A journey with Christ. You are despicable. You have Integrated yourselves into our lives. You heard my cries. What kind of person does this? You said Chris has the last word. He doesn't. I think there's only one more after that.
See, because the one I have after that is, you don't have my permission.
No, it's thanks, Mel.
What?
I have one from,
Well, then
it says
you don't
yesterday.
have permission to use any of the pictures. We already said that one.
I have one. Could you please tell Christopher I've been out of the country for business? We just landed and I see he's tried calling me 3 times. I wasn't ignoring him. I didn't have service. I'll be home later tonight. Thanks. But that doesn't go with anything.
That's the end one. That's the very last one. But I think, what I really wanted to draw attention to was, the things that Sherilyn was saying to Cindy. I'd like to point out this one where it says, "Oh my God, would you give it up already? If I wanted to put things you told me in the book, you can't stop me, but I'm not writing about you. And you need to stop smearing my name because I'm at a point of suing you and your daughter. I don't know what you think is in my book, but it's nothing like," where did that go? Oh,
Nothing like you have conjured in your mind to be.
Going with that one.
You are going to have major egg on your face when you see how you guys have, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
When you see how you guys have spent months trying to cause me trouble for no reason. You have yourself tied to lunatics out there, and if someone doesn't agree with you that Chris isn't guilty, you want to slam them. You're so stupid that you guys are putting things in the media that you think I have in my book. It would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic, but let me tell you, there are slander laws and you have crossed them. If you want my attorney's number, I'll be glad and give it to you. He will chew you up. It's really too bad Christopher has to deal with this crap while he's sitting in prison because his mother won't let him do anything she hasn't approved of. The next time my name... See, this is where I get cut off.
I know, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Oh, here it is. The next time my name is smeared on this penniless YouTube crap, I'm coming after you and Jamie, and you can count on it.
So, Mel, I want to ask you, is this when Cindy was asking for a copy of the book or to see it? Is that what was going on here? Oh.
Is she there?
Not muted. Well, or where she is. Oh, she's in chat. Okay, so sorry those are not in order, you guys. It's really confusing because when text messages are like cut off, you have to kind of piece which goes in what order. So, we're doing the best that we can.
Sorry, I had to go get my Zyrtec because remember
That's
last
okay.
night somebody got here and got it, so I had to go down and find it. What was the question?
The question was, were these text messages when Cindy was trying to get a copy of the book?
Yes. That's when that happened. She actually was trying to just find out if there was any new details that were going to come out in the book, because at that point they knew that she was writing it as true crime. They knew that it was no longer supposed to be this religious based book. They knew it was going to be about true crime, and they didn't agree to that. So I mean, obviously they were upset about it. So what they did was they said, hey, can you at least give us a heads up? Can you know, number one, please don't use anything that I've said because I didn't give you permission to write about this. Like anything that I may have said to you, you know, as a friend, that she presented herself as a friend to the family and only wanting to write about the journey to Christ. You don't have permission to say anything that I have shared with you. Um, and so you can see where Cindy makes that clear several times. And then she attempts to say, hey, can you please either let us know what's going to be in the book or let us read it ahead of time. And that was a no-go for Sherilyn at that point. She wasn't willing to share anything. And I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but you know, had Sherilyn actually done the right thing and shared the details with the Watts, and in regards to what was in the book, then there's no way she could have sold that to Daily Mail for however much she must have made. I mean, a good chunk of money. I mean, she has a letter from, you know, from a murderer, from a notorious murderer, and she stands to make a lot of money off of that letter where he claims his crimes, where he admits to things that have been, you know, released before. So um she she stood to make a lot of money off of that, and I think she did make a lot of money off of that letter. um but it came at a price, and that price was paid by the Watts and the Resecks. They didn't get those details ahead of time. They had to find it out with the rest of the world so that Sherilyn can make her money through Daily Mail.
Hmm.
That's pathetic.
Hmm.
So I want to go back to kind of talking about how Sherilyn portrayed herself as a Christian woman, like a grandmother type. And then it was funny because when Melissa was reading, where she says, "Yeah, because of some bitch in North Dakota that decided to prejudge me and lie on me and treat me like dirt on her feet for absolutely no reason, you guys treated me like I was your enemy." That does not sound very Christian-like to me. Like that doesn't sound like a little grandma who's a nice little Christian. I mean,
No, not at all.
I think these texts, you know, show more than just what the context and what they read. You know, it shows again the type of person the author is. And if you know the type of person the author is and what she was doing behind the scenes, that's where I'm asking the people to make an educated opinion about the book as a whole, really. And I've seen some comments, Mel, where people are like, oh, well, you know, the Watts are just trying to do damage control. I mean, do you want to address that comment?
So tell me again, which one was it specifically?
What,
Because I'm
which
yep,
text you mean? Well, no, I'm just
yeah,
saying in general, I'm getting a lot of comments where people are saying, oh, well, the Watts are just trying to do damage control. Why are they trying to, you know, discredit this author and this book so much? And it's not that we're trying to discredit the author. It's that we're showing the whole picture. And I didn't
oh
know
yeah.
if you wanted to make a comment on the whole damage control thing, because I don't know what kind of damage at this point the Watts would be trying to control. They haven't really done anything.
No. I mean, if you want to say that the Watts are doing damage control based off of Cato's book, my response to that would have to be that, you know, um, I guess in general, you know, there's not much to do damage control off of. I feel like the book was, you know, a lot of conjecture and a lot of, um, you know, Chris's thoughts and her thoughts. And I just don't see what's there for the Watts to do damage control on, aside from the fact that, you know, maybe we felt like it was pretty victim blamey. We felt like it was, I mean, I personally, I've expressed this several times. I felt like, you know, a lot was being put on Nicole Kessinger, a lot was being put on the women, you know, in Chris's life. But I don't see anybody trying to do damage control. I haven't seen Cindy speak out. I haven't seen Jamie speak out, you know, in regards to this book. So nobody's actually doing damage control. I mean, I'm speaking out about it. It's not necessarily in the name of damage control, but I will, if I see something in the book that I feel like isn't right, I will speak out and say, that's not right. I don't
Mm-hmm.
agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the Watts would agree with that. I don't think that Jamie would agree with that, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah. There's
Hey, can
another
everybody hear me okay?
there's another comment that was made in chat that I think is important, that it's just a good thing that someone noticed. I'm just a girl walking in a spider web said, just compare the text from the beginning until the end. In the beginning, she was so nice to them, trying to get whatever she could out of them. Then she gets greedy and calls people bitch. And I lost the rest. Calls people bitch and stupid. So not only was she nicer to Cindy in the beginning of these texts, but also if you go back to the text with Jamie, she was really, really nice. Can you find out the name of that book that Chris read to the girl? Get me this. Can you get her to stop visiting him so I can, and this,
and
that,
the
and
screenshots that you just read through, those were all pretty recent screenshots between Sherilyn and Cindy, and I haven't shared anything prior to that. And the reason that I haven't, shared that is because, this year was a journey and everybody was, working through their emotions. But once it was found out that the book was, true crime, that's when, Cindy reached out to her and said, listen,
to
I
ask her
did
about it.
crime, yes, let me at least get a heads up. And we all see through the messages that you share, we all see like how that went down. So the family just don't believe what you've been hearing, because the family actually really just wanted to brace themselves for impact. That's all they want when someone's writing a book about their family. If they could be kind enough to at least let them be part of the process, let them at least know what's coming out, because at the end of the day, this is their family, and this is their lives, and they're the ones left living it. So I do usually respect, I totally respect Kathleen and the fact that she always makes everybody aware of what she's doing, what she's digging up, and what she's finding. And making them part of the process and making sure that they're kept in the loop. She always contacts the Rusex lawyer. She's contacted them with this latest chapter, and everybody's aware of what's going on and what she's doing and what she's thinking.
So Kathleen, who is the author, she is an actual real professional author. She's in contact with the Rusex lawyer as well, while she's writing this book.
Yeah, she's kept them in the loop. She has emailed them every single time, that emailed or called, every single time she's had information that she felt like would be pertinent to an investigation. She doesn't sit on it so that she can sell it to the Daily Mail. She actually does the right thing with it.
Right. So I want to ask you, with that being said, did Sherilyn ever reach out to the Rusex attorney? When she couldn't, I know she said she tried to reach out to the Rusex, but did she ever reach out to their attorney, as far as you know?
I'm going to go ahead and say that, to my knowledge, she never did. She never mentioned it to anybody else. And given the fact that she got that, pretty hefty payout from the Daily Mail, I would have to say she didn't share those details with anybody, because if she did, she would have risked losing whatever payout she was to receive.
Right, she couldn't tell anybody.
Yeah, if she would have told the Rusex, I think that would have dimmed her chances of receiving any sort of payout. So, that says a little bit about her motivation.
I wonder, does anybody know what her payout was? I'm sure it was a lot, if for a month.
I don't know how anyone would know. So
unless she blabbed it, and then Hypocritical is going to leak it. That'll be the next drama. So, anyways, back to this. There's a couple other things that I saw in chat that I wanted to address. Dina Jen. Chris Watts and his parents and this Sherilyn are pieces of shit, toxic people. Where are you getting? Why are you throwing the parents in there? I don't understand that. I get time. Other comment I wanted to ask about. Okay, Lainey Ray wants to know, and I'm going to give you a couple tough questions, Mel, because I know you can handle them. A,
Yeah.
B,
yeah.
I think, they need to be addressed, So here's one. Why are the Watts choosing to use you as their spokeswoman? Why aren't they grieving privately like the... If you want me to kind of piggyback on you after you say what you need to say, I will.
Oh, I mean, I honestly, Jamie's presence on social media has been minimal. She hasn't been really commenting on YouTube videos. I think, last night was the first time that she had commented, and I don't know that she'll comment again or ever, go on YouTube at all. So she really hasn't been there. Cindy really hasn't been a social media presence. I'm the only one that's been a social media presence for them. I have seen Sandy and Frank and Frankie Jr. on YouTube. So, both families have showed,
That's
whatever
just another of comparing the two and trying to damn one over the other. They've, I think the Watts
they've
have
all kind of,
yeah, I mean, they've been quieter on social media. The Ruseks have been a little more outspoken on social media. I mean, they're doing themselves. It's like they're not.
Yeah, I mean, if it makes them feel good, let them do it. If it's what makes them happy, if it's what gets
what's
them
helping them, yeah.
Just like we talked about, sometimes denial. These guys are using their denial to just help them get through the day. And so if that's what gets them through the day, then that's fine. So yeah, that's as best as I'm going to be able to answer that question.
Yeah, well, you did a good job answering it. And I like what Salix Smith said in chat. She said, why are people telling both families how to grieve? They have the right more than anyone else to do what they think should be done. And then Tammy followed up with, there's no instruction book. So true.
Yeah, they've been looking for the instruction book and just they can't find it.
Yeah.
Nowhere found. Like maybe they lost it. I don't know, but yeah, it's not there.
And if either family goes through anger stages, I mean, that's part of grief.
Hey, right. Jay, can you turn up your volume? People are asking.
Am I quiet?
You don't sound quiet to me, but a couple people have been asking.
Oh, that must, all right, I turned it up.
Do I sound loud?
No.
No, you don't sound loud.
Hey, you're blowing my eardrums out, Mel.
Well, like I actually pulled up the computer for this. I meant the laptop for this, so everybody could hear me.
Okay. We're gonna change gears a little bit because we're getting a lot of questions about Catherine, Jamie, or Cindy's book. So I wanted to see if you wanted to answer a couple of these questions.
Yeah, and then I have some great info.
Okay. She has some great info. Like what kind of info?
Like first chapter of book.
You have the first chapter of.
Well, I mean, everybody else thought they had the entire book, so.
Wow. Okay. Are you going to be able to read it for us?
Huh?
Are you going to be able to read it to us?
I am. Yeah.
Wait, this is a chapter from Cindy's book?
Yeah.
Well,
oh, wow.
Yeah. It's Kathleen's book. She's writing about this family and she's looking for answers and she wants to get to the truth. She wants to get to the bottom of everything. She wants them to have the full truth to be able to get some closure finally, because there are so many unanswered questions. So yeah, I do. I have the first chapter. I'm going to be reading it. The first chapter has also been forwarded to the Ruseks lawyers, and so everybody's in the loop. This is no So
See, and this is the way it should be going.
This is the way it
the
should
proper way it should be handled.
yeah, absolutely. The way it should be done. I'm super proud.
Okay, so are we wrong when we call it Cindy's book? I just want to get that straight now before.
We should probably call it Kathleen's book.
Kathleen's book, because Kathleen's not only talking to Cindy, she's talking to many people and putting this book together. It's not just her and Cindy collaborating and getting Cindy's word out there. Right?
Oh, so it's like the whole family and other people. Oh, okay.
I think a lot of people misunderstood too and thought that Jamie was going to be on tonight, and that was not the case. We were talking in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. She's she's got to feel comfortable with that, and I mean, I'm grateful that everybody felt good enough to comment talk last night, but
see, someone in chat said it's Cindy's journal thoughts.
Okay, so what was shared were not her journal thoughts. They were her thoughts, and they were going back and forth between Cindy and Kathleen, trying to so that Kathleen could understand Cindy's point of view, and it was just a communication back and forth between them as Kathleen tried to cultivate these chapters. And there were things that Cindy wanted omitted, and I've said this repeatedly. There were things that weren't supposed to be released within those chapters that were private to the families. It was more of a put it all out on the table for Kathleen, and then let's together decide what is okay to release and what's not. But before that could happen, some pretty awful people leaked it to Critical K, and then she shared it everywhere. So like personal private things about the family weren't supposed to be given. And I think this might be the third podcast we've done where I've explained that that some of those things were private, weren't supposed to be put out there for everybody to see.
Okay.
So
let me just stop right here. We have over 600 in chat, and we have tons of questions coming through for you, Mel.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to ask them all right now because there's so many. So I'm going to ask people in chat, if you have a question for Mel, to join the podcast group. I'm going to make a post in there, and you can put your questions under there. And then Mel and I will do a live just doing a Q&A. Because all these questions they're wonderful questions. They're great talking points, but we're getting off in different directions. You know what I'm saying? Like one question's about this, one's about that. And it kind of gets us off topic. But I would love to do a Q&A with you, Mel, where I could just ask you, questions that everybody's asking in chat.
Great. Yeah, I think that would be great. We can just, tackle all of it.
Yes, I want to stick with the book right now, with Kathleen's book. Okay. Now, real quick, can you tell us who Cato was talking about when she said some bitch in North Dakota? Or no?
No, I don't want to. I think I've made it pretty clear that I'm not a huge fan of dropping names, and I'm not going to stoop to that level. I could definitely blast this person, but why
was Cato so mad at the girl in North Dakota? Can you tell us that?
Well, the person didn't even live in North Dakota, so that's.
Well, why was she so mad at her?
Because she was asking questions. She was trying to, kick rocks and kind of see what she could find out at that time point. But this person since then has, kind of stuck with Cato. And, that might be where the leak happened. So, but what's more exciting?
What's that?
Is that we have an entire chapter, and you guys have questions after that.
So, I know. All right. So
like this. Let's do it like this. Now I'm just going to take control of your podcast here, and I'm going to say,
Take it,
so
girl.
if there are a couple questions that people want to ask, go ahead. Let's ask them. Let's look through your chat, see if there's one or two more questions. Then give me a short 2-minute break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to read the first chapter from Kathleen Hewston's book about this, and it's absolutely, you're not going to want to miss it. So
Awesome.
I feel like go tell your friends, go tell everybody to gather on up in here, and let's read this together. Let's take a couple questions. Give me 2 minutes, and like I said, I'll come back and we're going to do that, and it's going to be amazing, and it'll be time for everybody to go into the groups and tell everybody to get in here and listen to what I've got to say.
Okay, did you want to take the questions now or when you get back?
So before my potty break, that would be great.
Okay, before. All right, so what is the purpose or intended purpose of Kathleen's book?
To get to the truth. She has a lot of questions, and when I read the chapter to you, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. She has questions. She has valid questions. Her questions are thought-provoking, and I'm super excited to see what she finds out in her quest to get to the truth. And I'm excited to stick around for this ride. I'm looking into the chat as well. That's deleted.
How about, will any of the Watts profit from the release of this book? That's been asked over and over and over.
Say that again. I saw this.
Are any of the Watts going to profit from this book?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. That's none of my business if they do. I mean, I guess they've been through hell and back, and if they do profit from anything, it's well deserved. I think if anything, they should profit and be able to have legal counsel. So, again, it's none of my business. I have my own personal thoughts on whether or not they should profit, but what Kathleen chooses to do with her book is her call. She gets to make that call. So,
okay, another one.
Is Kathleen allowing Shanann's family to read in advance and edit?
Oh, God, I'm sure she will. I mean, I don't know if she's going to let anybody edit her book because she's seeking the truth, and if the truth is going in the book, but I promise you she's not going to blindside anybody. She goes ahead and lets them know ahead of time what she's thinking and doing. That's just her style. She's not subtle.
Well,
I love that about her.
No, and I like that too. I'm really excited to hear this first chapter. So, do you want to go ahead and take your little break?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to be back in 2 minutes, 2 and 2. And then we will get started on that chapter. I'm really excited. I want to hear her style. I want to, is this kind of like the introductory chapter or what? Is this?
Yes, it's the first chapter. I see somebody here that says, is Mel friends with Jamie? Katerina? Yes, I am. I love her to pieces. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be right back.
Okay.
And you guys try not to talk about me while I'm gone.
We're going to. So mute or turn off your volume. You don't want to hear what we have to say about you, girl.
Okay.
God, I can't shake this cough. But yes, Mel is friends with Jamie. I'm gonna try to go through chat, and I'm gonna ask you guys. I haven't asked this outright because everyone's been kind of, behaving. But tonight it seems like there's more people being kind of rude. If you could please be respectful. It doesn't matter who I have on my panel, whether you agree with them or not. I ask that everybody respect them. If you don't agree with something, that's fine. You don't have to agree. I don't expect everyone to agree, but I expect everybody to be respectful. In other words, if you don't have anything nice to say, maybe just don't say it. That's all. Pretty simple. So, Oh yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of troll comments. So
There is a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if Kathleen, like Mel just said, I don't know if she's going to let people edit it or if she's going to have the courtesy that Cato didn't and let the families read it before
I like this comment.
Which one?
Kathleen is a real true crime author along the genre of Anne Rule, unlike Sherilyn Cato, who seems illiterate and uneducated. Cato's book is a joke.
Well, Kathleen is an actual author, so she's written numerous books. She is talking to a lot of people that were involved in the case, not just talking to one person.
Right.
So I think it comes out next July. I think that's what you're thinking of. I don't know who said that in chat. It's moving fast. When? Jay, another book out in July. I believe I'll confirm that when Mel gets back, but I think it is July. So Mel has the first chapter to Kathleen's book, and she's been given permission by Kathleen to read that to us tonight, which I didn't even know until she came on here. So if you have, a group you want to share this to, and you think they want to hear this, go ahead and take this time while Mel's taking a little intermission and share this link out to this live and get people in here. Will the book be available digitally? That's a good question. And I have no doubt that Kathleen's book will be better just because she is an actual author. Natalie, Mel is going to read the first book of Kathleen book about this case. Thank you, Mary. She's not a con artist. Yeah, I'm excited too. I have no idea what this book is going to be like. I know the leaked version or whatever, everybody thinks it's going to be a certain way, and that, I saw a lot of people saying, shame on Cindy for what she said in the book, and I don't think that was the final result. I think that was just some information that was given. And I think that you guys are being a little hard on Cindy when she talks about stories of things that happened in the past. I don't think it's fair to act like certain things didn't happen just because of this tragedy. I mean, their history is their history. It's their story. It's what happened. So you may not like it. You might think it's insensitive, but it's their life. That's their story. I'm sorry, Jamie, to hear that. You don't have to like the Watts. We just ask you to not bash them or be disrespectful. Exactly. Just like anybody else I would have on. I mean, I know everybody's very emotional about this, and don't get me wrong. I know who the true victim is here. It's Shanann, of course. That goes without saying. But there is also a story there. There is also lives that were lived before this shocking, unexpected tragedy happened. I don't know. I mean, that's all I can really say is just think they had a life and things happened. Well, of course, the girls are innocent victims. I'm just saying all of the family members are victims, but the ultimate victim was Shanann. Shanann was the one that was plotted against from that we know for sure. I'm still on the fence. Was Celeste and Bella part of the plan? I don't know that, but I do know that Shanann was. So that's why I said it the way I said it. You can't say anything without it being dissected, my God.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, everybody's very touchy about this. And I understand why people are touchy, but don't down me for getting both sides. Don't down me for getting another side out there, please. That's all I ask, is for you to be fair and think about You know, the fact that I have a YouTube channel, I have an audience, I have people that want to know everything about this case. We all do. We've all followed this for a year. So like, don't down me for giving you guys the information that I'm getting.
All right. So has everybody gone and contacted their friends? Is everybody ready?
I think so. Can we hear Mel good? You guys, I want to make sure that the audio is good for her.
Yeah. Hopefully better than yesterday.
Are you using a mic tonight or?
I am. I don't know if it's any good, but I'm hoping you guys can hear me better than you did yesterday.
Thank you, Finn. I can hear you fine. I just want to make sure chat can hear you fine.
Oh, and somebody said, "Is that all the text?" No, it's not. It's not. It's the texts that you shared were some of the more recent texts, because I felt like that, there was a lot discussed in the texts that were, early on between Cadel and, and as the case evolved and everybody got to know each other, that's not what's important. What's important is that once it was found out that the entire preface of this book was changing to something else, then that's sort of where the issue lies. Like I said, they thought it was a religious Facebook, and it wasn't. It turned out to be something completely different, and they were not on the same page. So at that point,
Mm-hmm.
at that point, it should have been shared with the families, and it wasn't. And we can't go back on that. So here we are now. All right.
Okay.
And
Before you start,
Mhm.
I first want to ask you, how many pages is this? Is it long?
No, it's not super long, but it's long enough, and it's definitely thought provoking. So,
I want to, okay, before you start, I want to address Lucy T in chat.
Okay.
I did not mean that I don't believe Chris harmed the girls. What I meant was I'm not completely sure that they were a part of the plan from the beginning. That's all I meant by that. And then is this book coming out in July? Is that the date she's targeting for?
I thought yesterday we discussed.
Yeah, I thought so too. And there's another book, I guess it's coming out by John Glatt, coming out in July. I don't know anything about that.
Well, actually, I think his comes out actually after Kathleen's does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit later. Oh,
thank you, Lucy.
That we have stopped for so long because the chat is just growing and lots of people are getting in here.
All right. Well, I am going to mute while you read. I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to mute Melissa and let you go ahead and read this chapter. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go
and
ahead
then I'll be in chat.
Discuss.
Yeah, I'll be in chat. I just won't be on my mic. Okay.
Just dealing with your dog attack.
Yeah, I know. And the pizza guy's here, so.
Oh, gosh.
All right, going on mute. Thank you, Mel.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. This is Kathleen Hewston, and these are her, this is her intro. Like, this is her first chapter, and I'm super excited about it, and I'm super proud of her. So here we go. These are questions that have puzzled me right from the beginning. Cindy has wondered about these as well. Cindy, who is a deeply sweet and bright woman, asked me one day, how did Chris think murdering his family would let him be with Nicole? What an excellent question. Motive. The supposed motive that everyone, for no reason I can figure out, believes is that Christopher Watts murdered his pregnant wife and 2 little girls because he did not want his mistress of 5 weeks, Nicole Kessinger, to find out he was pregnant. This is, if true, which it cannot be, the stupidest motive in the history of murder. People murder for money and sex and or to hide secrets. So, okay, let's go to the letter. The hiding of secrets. Watts murdered 3 or 4 people, depending on how you view Nico. So that, Nicole Kessinger, his mistress, of again, I must reiterate, 5 weeks, would not find out his wife was pregnant. This is his secret, a secret worth risking the death penalty for at worst, or life without parole at best. And that is if you don't even look at the moral implications of ending all these young lives. But that's what he says his motive was, to keep his new lady from finding out that Shanann was pregnant. Do you believe that? If your answer is yes, can we talk? Can we talk about why you believe that? Do you believe that Nicole never once Googled Shanann Watts before the murders? Because that's pretty naive. Of course she did. And Shanann had been posting about her pregnancy for months. It was all over her wide open Facebook page. Even Christopher Watts said that Nicole lied about not knowing Shanann was pregnant. In fact, according to him, she knew he was married from the beginning and didn't believe his claim that he was separated. Asking why she would lie about that is silly. She wasn't trying to save face. I get it. No, I'm sorry. She was trying to save face. I get it. Doesn't the affair show some pretty huge lack of judgment? Of course it does. And no one else seems to have even addressed what an irresponsible thing she was doing to her career by it happening, let alone that she was seeing a man with 2 small children and a pregnant wife who wasn't going to take this lying down. Shanann probably would have reported her to Anadarko and she would have been fired. But since Nicole Kessinger is not the one who murdered everybody, that doesn't matter. Her lying after the fact about Chris's marital status was an attempt at damage control. I agree with that wholeheartedly. To try and save her reputation, and since that has been an epic fail, I think she should just come out and admit she lied. But I'm not writing about Nicole's motives here, just Chris's. And since Nicole did know Shanann was pregnant, there goes his motive for killing Shanann. If, that is, you believe he would risk everything for that anyway. Moving on, Chris, it seems, has never been pressed on why he killed his children. In his second confession, he alludes to a rage that, according to that particular confession, held through loading Shanann and Nico's bodies into the car and then driving with his oddly quiet and passive little girls for over an hour before killing them. So he was still in a rage, was he? Even after several hours had passed. The kind of rage that causes you to kill children and destroy their bodies? Wow, that's some epic rage, all right? But then Chris tells yet another story, his third story. In this tale, he was not in a rage. No, it was a nightmare. The girls running around and crying because they saw their dead mother, and he was panicked and distraught. He therefore reasons them into the back seat of the car with their dead mother, who by now miscarried their brother, and they sit and they rest on their feet, these corpses, and ride for an hour and more to the oil site where he murders them. Oh, but wait. In this latest scenario, he already had murdered them and they had come back to life. And so that was why they had to ride along to the site and had to kill them again. You know, in his own words, they wouldn't come back. But again, why? Why did you kill your children, Chris? Like, why? If he did not want to kill the children, he had a lot, and I mean a lot of time and opportunities not to do so. If he wanted to be with Nicole Kessinger while Shanann and the girls were away in North Carolina, well, he was with her, right? Right there, safe and sound in Colorado. If he was afraid of Shanann, insert eye roll here, then he could have called her in North Carolina and said, I've met someone and we're going to be together. And we're losing the house anyway, so don't come back. Or if that was too scary for him, I believe both email and text would have worked. And if he didn't want to read Shanann's response to his news, then he didn't have to open her responses. Valid point. Now, there he is in Colorado, safe and sound with his girls. His ex is gone. His kids are safe. And later on, when his temper dies down, well, he could arrange for visitation if he wanted, or not if he didn't, whatever. Whatever Shanann was, for sure, she was young and gorgeous and would have remarried. Chris could have either seen or not seen his children with her at his choice. And he could have married Nicole, who was already looking at wedding dresses. He could have had as many more children as he wanted. And both he and Shanann could have made ex-husband-wife jokes about each other and into their old ages. As we know, he didn't go for that. Instead, he spent money he didn't have to fly to North Carolina to bring them back to Colorado to murder them all. Makes sense? What? Oh, right, it doesn't. Not if he didn't plan to kill the girls. And again, that would be my question. Why did you want to kill the girls, Christopher? What were you hiding when you hid their bodies? If you loved them, you'd have A, never gone to North Carolina to fetch them, or B, left them with their grandparents alive well after dumping your wife. The first one would have been the easiest, but either would have been better than killing them. So maybe now you would try telling me that ridiculous story you told Katel that Nikki said, and this is in quotations, that Nikki said to go to work on my marriage, and I felt all in love, and she asked me if I was with her, and I got all nervous. Okay, so you went to North Carolina to work things out with Shanann. Bring along with you a deadly dose of opiates to give her in case things didn't work out. All right, except you tried to do her in that very first night, which seems to allow for a lot of marital improvement, but whatever. Maybe it was a sign. Shanann is meant to live. I'll just fly back to Colorado feeling really good about not getting caught attempting to murder my pregnant wife and call it a day. Nope. I think an even better plan is to go spend time at the beach with everybody and then fly them back and kill all of them. Why did Chris, who was planning to kill Shanann, at least according to his story to Katel, kill his children? Why? He brought them back to Colorado to kill them. He knew Shanann was going away to Arizona. He knew that would let him kill the girls without interference, and he did kill them. They were both dead, or at least deeply unconscious before she got back. And why did he feel so compelled to kill them all that night? His only excuse is it was because his girlfriend would find out that Shanann was pregnant the next day. But he says she already knew, and I believe him. Besides, even if she didn't, Shanann at that point was willing to please Chris that she wasn't going to post it on Facebook if he had said not to, which is still so stupid because it was already all over her Facebook page. So what would one more post, more or less matter? We know he actively chose instead to kill not just Shanann but the girls. Why did you kill the children, Chris? If you knew you were going to leave Shanann, why did you not just leave her alone in North Carolina? Why fly to North Carolina and attempt to kill her? And after that failed attempt, bring her back with the children? And if you weren't planning to kill them, you were going to do what to them? Make sure they didn't miss you killing their mother? No, you were going to kill them, weren't you? That's why they were brought back, isn't it? But why, Chris? Why did you kill the children? And why that night? What was happening the next day? Well, Shanann had a doctor's appointment. Did you kill her and the children to keep her from going to that? I know copays are a real bitch, but that seems extreme. We know you said you were afraid of her. Talking to Ronnie, if you had let him FaceTime with her on that last night alive, she might have told Shanann something too that night, but you were going to kill Shanann when she got home anyways, weren't you? Whatever secrets there were would have died with her. And if you weren't deliberately targeting Bella, Chris, why did you leave those children in North Carolina? You feared Nicole, didn't want to be a stepmother. I think that the Ruseks, your own parents, or Jamie and Robert would have all stepped up to the plate for the girls. So why did you kill the children? Why did you kill the children? Did you kill them to protect Shanann? Were they Shanann's secrets? You were killing them for Chris, and Shanann had been hurting the girls and you didn't want to tell? You couldn't leave them safe in North Carolina either, could you? Because they might have told their grandparents, and you had to protect Shanann's terrible secrets. You couldn't let Bella enjoy her first day of kindergarten because she might have told someone. Shanann's secrets, the same Shanann who first accused of murdering the children back in confession number 1. But it seems a crappy way of protecting her secrets to kill both girls and her, whose secrets were you protecting. Or was it not her secrets you were protecting, Chris? You destroyed their little bodies, Chris, making sure whatever secrets they might have could never be told. And then you sealed their medical records and refused your parents the power of attorney to open them. Why? Why did you kill the children, Chris? You said that the cadaver dogs hiding in the basement must have been because a demon was down there. What a stupid, stupid lie, even by your standards. You killed them all down there, didn't you, Chris? Or tried to anyways. But again, can I ask why you lied about even that? What are you hiding? Why did you kill the children? Okay. So that is the first chapter.
Okay, so that's chapter 1.
Any questions?
Okay, so we had a lot of people that were having a hard time following.
Jay and Melissa want to come back?
Oh, shit. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Mel?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so we had a lot of people in chat that were having a hard time following. I didn't want to cut you off because some people could hear you just fine. But there was a little bit of an echo. I don't know if it's your earbuds. I don't know what it is, but there was a little bit of an echo and it was kind of a little bit muffly, but I could hear it fine on my phone, but some people were having a hard time.
Okay.
But the gist of it, okay, so I was a little confused. Is that like a conversation that she's having with Chris? Is this like a I'm confused on the context.
Okay. So this is going to get leaked, so everybody will be able to read it for yourselves, and I can actually send it to you if you'd like, so that you can go ahead and take a look at it
Okay.
and post it up on the screen if you need to. But yeah, so the way that she writes is very intense, and she does seem to address Chris a lot in this particular reading.
Okay. So she has a different style of writing, and I think that's what, when people read it themselves, they will get the gist of that.
Yes.
And maybe that's where the confusion comes in, where, reading it, just hearing it read versus, sitting down and reading it yourself and getting the writer's style is a little different. I just don't want people to walk away thinking, oh, well, what is this lady writing about? I want to give them the gist of, her writing style and what is the main point of this chapter.
So the point of the chapter is that there are a lot of unanswered questions, and I think that this getting out and people being able to read it and consume it for themselves, like, it's one thing having someone read it to you, but if you read it for yourself, you're going to look at it and you're going to realize, like, she just wants answers, and she brings up a lot of valid points. I had hoped that everybody would be able to hear it and understand that, like, this provokes a lot of questions.
So was she having like questions and she was asking them, and then she was trying to get like rhetorical questions that she wanted answered?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
it's making sense.
Yeah, that's her personality. Total rhetorical questions, but they were sort of like rhetorical, like Chris questions. Like,
right.
She's never going to get Chris to tell the truth about things. So they are totally rhetorical questions towards Chris, where she's kind of like, I'm on to you and I am looking for the answers. And you kind of have everybody confused, but I'm on to you. So it's a very it's one of those situations where she's writing and she's going where the truth is, and she's doing everything the way it's supposed to be done, and not excluding anyone from this. She's been way upfront about her intentions. So I sent this to Jay so she can distribute like all of this, but I do want to check the chat and see if there are any questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this the finished first chapter? Is this how it's going to be in the book? Is this a rough draft? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, like, it could change many times, but as of right now, this is what everybody has agreed on for the first chapter.
Okay, is Kathleen a friend of the family? Stella B wants to know.
Say that again.
Is Kathleen a friend of the family?
She's very kind to the family. She's very loving. So yeah, she's a friend, but she's not. She's an author, and she got to know Cindy and Jamie, and she absolutely fell in love with them.
So she wasn't a friend before, though.
No, she wasn't. She's an author.
Okay, so someone wants to know, why didn't she ask the rhetorical question, Chris, were you sexually abusing the girls and that is why they had to be silenced? Where did that come from?
Wow.
How is that a rhetorical question, Jules? I'm just curious where you're getting that from. I know. I don't know why everybody's saying they can't hear well. There's nothing different on my audio than there was last night, and there was no problem.
I see somebody saying.
Oh, someone said maybe that's why he had their medical records sealed.
Oh. I've never heard that theory.
Neither have I.
Okay, how many books has Kathleen written? And is she an author or a newspaper columnist? What kind of author is she?
Oh, no, she's an author, book author. I don't know how many books she's written, but I personally have a couple of them now in my home, and she's a best-selling author, so she's legit. But she likes to. She has her interest, so she kind of writes about women who have been murdered, and she also is kind of a history buff. And she writes about the Romanovs and the royal family, and like I had said, lots of kind of historical women who have been murdered. So she's
What is Kathleen's last name?
Hewston.
How do you spell that?
It's Hewtson.
Okay, I just
So
put it in chat because they were
Jewel's
asking.
answer to you was because she asked, were the girls silenced to hide Shanann's abuse of the girls? That was her answer to you when
Wait,
you
say
asked
that
her
again?
why. Because she asked, were the girls silenced to hide Shanann's abuse of the girls?
I've seen both of Joel's questions that popped up, and
yes,
honestly, kudos to Jules, because I feel like she's asking some great questions, and I just want Jules to know that Kathleen's looking for the answers to those questions, and they were rhetorical, for a reason. But tell her to sit tight and let Kathleen actually do her work, and when this book is completed, we will have all of the answers to the things that Jules is asking. Like, there's nothing that Kathleen wants other than the truth, even if it's the ugly truth. She just wants.
So this
truth.
might be a little controversial of a book, what you're saying.
It might be, yeah. It's
not going to be like Cato's. It's not going to be like Cato's book where it's summing up the discovery that we already knew.
Nope. No,
What's wrong, Melissa?
Nothing. Just reading chat.
Who's here?
Frank. Yeah.
Frank is here.
Yes.
Oh, he said, I see. Okay, so Frank said BS. I don't know what part he's saying is BS. But hi, Frank.
I hope Frank knows that Kathleen forwarded all of this to, I think it was Mr. Lambert, and maybe they're not aware yet, but this chapter has been shared with their lawyers. So I don't want him to get upset or anything like that. I want him to know that I personally saw the email stating that it was sent to the Rusex lawyers. So nobody's hiding anything. And, it's definitely one of those things where
I don't think that Mel is here to blame anybody for anything. I think we're just talking about this book and the things that the author was looking. Yeah. I'm not really sure where this whole thing has gone south like that. I didn't.
Well, no, we never once mentioned that Shanann abused the girls. That was just a rhetorical question in the book. I mean, I
don't think anybody believes that.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what to say because I don't believe that. and I didn't get
Well,
that
someone
from
made
this.
that comment in chat, and that's how it got brought up. But none of us up here on panel said that she did that. We don't believe she did that.
Everyone knows that Shanann never hurt her girls.
Correct.
I mean, that, we know that.
We
Yeah.
didn't bring it up.
Coming
If
from.
someone brought it up in chat, we didn't bring it up on panel. Someone's asking in chat. Jewels of Thought brought it up.
And it didn't sound to me like Stop the Drama said, it didn't sound to me like Kathleen believed that. Oh, it's because Jules said that?
Yes.
So she was in
mentioned it
here
in chat.
trolling and starting
Yes.
Oh
things.
no,
Okay.
Jules, please don't do that. That's beneath you. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not fair, Jules. I have never done that in your lives. Like, we have always gotten along outside of our channels, and I would never promote something like that. And I don't want you to come in here and make an agenda that's not there.
You know,
absolutely not.
we had an entire conversation before we even went live tonight, and we talked about where we stand, and you always know where we stand. So if anybody has come here, especially you, Jules, if you've come here to cause problems, then, you know, move along. You don't.
Well, I say shame on her because I've always been nice to her. I've never trolled her lives. I've never done anything like that to her.
I've always been kind to her, and I've if she's ever said anything that's upset me, I've contacted her via email, and her and I have talked via email and had conversations. So if she's here to start trouble, then I mean, that's not cool.
Well, that's really disheartening to me because
it did suck.
I've never taken that stance, and I don't appreciate someone coming here and insinuating that I ever would. So, Frank Rusek, I appreciate you coming in here. I'm actually floored that this took a turn the way it did.
Oh, there's a Maui chickadee. She needs to be absolutely not just timed out, but stricken from even commenting in here. So now I see what's happening.
Well, we knew that this was going to be a little bit edgy, okay?
Yeah.
There's already been a lot of talk about this book and what's going to be in it.
And, you know, I don't know who that is. If it's like Sandy under Frank's account or anything like that. But like I said, this book has been forwarded to the Resex lawyer, so I don't really see why it would be a controversial thing. It's just...
Well, that's because of the comment that was made in the chat by Jules.
Okay. And I must have missed that because chat is flying. I'm having a hard time keeping up. I mean, I didn't even know.
None of us said anything on a term or anything bad about anyone. It was a comment that was made in chat that was read aloud.
Okay, well, if she wasn't trolling, you guys.
Oh, okay. See, true crime. Let me just say this. So you said Jules was not trolling. She asked why didn't the author blame Chris instead of blaming Shanann. Actually, that's exactly what she did.
They're saying that something was in the book about it, so I don't know. I missed it. I had a hard time following. If I misunderstood Jules,
No, it'll be okay. It's gonna go around, so Jules can read it for herself. Maybe she misheard something or misunderstood something. But the truth of the matter is that this I was proud of this first chapter because it really did put the blame on Chris and nobody else but Chris. And if she heard something, there were a lot of rhetorical questions. If she heard something that I said and she didn't do it the right way, she needs to read it for herself. So she should just go ahead and calm on down because...
Yeah, okay. Well, I think we should move forward from her. I mean, there's always going to be comments made. I mean, do you guys want me to reread it for you if there was an echo?
Yeah, I'm trying to look. Oh, I thought you meant the comment.
No, I'm talking about
echo. There was a bit in the... I mean, but if you sat there and listened, you could understand. But people, are commenting and
yeah, it's just it's kind of chaotic. I'm looking at it now, though, and I'm seeing how she wrote it, so I can see where that would be a little confusing.
That's just her style, you know.
But I didn't want it to take away from content.
Right.
Everybody's saying please reread. Do you want me to reread it? Because I need to understand what was even said in here and what made this go south, because
Did you get it?
I obviously missed something, you know?
Well, the first chapter is just pretty much the author talking like to herself, asking questions, and she wants the answers to them. And she's saying, giving herself answers like, yes, it happened this way. No, it happened this way. You know, she's asking, it's like she's talking to herself. But, you know, there are questions for Chris that she wants the answers to.
All right. So would you mind if I reread it, Mel?
No, not
okay.
No.
Okay, so is that the name of the chapter, Case Questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna mute you guys because I don't know where this like background noise is coming from, but I'm gonna mute you guys and then I'm gonna read through it real quick, and because I want to make sense of it, because I want to know, you know, because I'm gonna get a lot of messages about this and I need to know what everyone's upset over, right? So let me go ahead. I'm gonna mute Melissa and Mel, and I'm gonna read through this. And let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty good. Okay. So the name of the chapter is Case Questions. These are questions that have puzzled me right from the beginning. Cindy has wondered about these as well. Cindy, who is a deeply sweet and bright woman, asked me one day, how did Chris think murdering his family would let him be with Nicole? What an excellent question. And then she puts motive. The supposed motive that everyone, for no reason I can figure out, believes is that Christopher Watts murdered his pregnant wife and 2 little girls because he did not want his mistress of 5 weeks, Nicole Kessinger, to find out his wife was pregnant. To begin with, this is, if true, which it cannot be, the stupidest motive in the history of murder. People murder for money and sex and or to hide secrets. So, okay, let's go to the latter, the hiding secrets. Watts murdered 3 or 4 people, depending on how you view Nico, so that Nicole Kessinger, his mistress of, again, I must reiterate, 5 weeks, would not find out his wife was pregnant. That is his secret, a secret worth risking the death penalty for at worst, or life without parole at best. And that is if you don't even look at the moral implications of ending all these young lives. But that's what he says his motive was, to keep his new lady from finding out that Shanann was pregnant. Do you believe that? If your answer is yes, can we talk about why you believe that? Do you believe that Nicole never once Googled Shanann Watts before the murders? Because that's pretty naive. Of course she did. And Shanann had been posting about her pregnancy for months. It was all over her wide open Facebook page. Even Christopher Watts said that Nicole lied about not knowing Shanann was pregnant. In fact, according to him, she knew he was married from the beginning and didn't believe his claim that he was separated. Asking why she would lie about that is silly. She was trying to save face. I get it. Doesn't the affair show some pretty huge lack of judgment? Of course it does, and no one else seems to have even addressed what an irresponsible thing she was doing to her career by it happening, let alone that she was seeing a man with 2 small children and a pregnant wife who wasn't going to take this laying down. Shanann probably would have reported her to Anadarko and she would have been fired. But since Nicole Kessinger is not the one who murdered everybody, that doesn't matter. Her lying after the fact about Chris's marital status was an attempt at damage control to try and save her reputation. And since that had been an epic fail, I think she should just come out and admit that she lied. But I'm not writing about Nicole's motives here, just Chris's. And since Nicole did know Shanann was pregnant, there goes his motive for killing Shanann. if, that is, you believe, he would risk everything for that anyway. Moving on, Chris, it seems, has never been pressed on why he killed his children. In his second confession, he alludes to a rage that, according to that particular confession, held through loading Shanann and Nico's bodies into the car and then driving with his oddly quiet and passive little girls for over an hour before killing them. So he was still in a rage. Was he, even after several hours have passed, the kind of rage that causes you to kill children and destroy their bodies? Wow, that is some epic rage, all right. But then Chris tells yet another story, his third story. In this tale, he was not in a rage. No, it was just a nightmare. The girls running around and crying because they saw their dead mother, and he was panicked and distraught. He therefore reasons them into the back seat of the car with their dead mother, who had by now miscarried their brother, and they rest their feet on these corpses and ride for an hour out to the oil site where he murders them. Oh, but wait. In this latest scenario, he already had murdered them and they had come back to life. So that was why they had to ride along to the site and he had to kill them again. You know, so in his own words, quote, they wouldn't come back. But again, why? Why did you kill the children, Chris? If he did not want to kill the children, he had a lot, and I mean a lot of time and opportunities to not do so. If he wanted to be with Nicole Kessinger while Shanann and the girls were away in North Carolina, well, he was with her right there, safe and sound in Colorado. If he was afraid of Shanann, insert eye roll here, then he could have called her in North Carolina and said, I've met someone. We're going to be together and we are losing the house anyway, so don't come back. Or if that was too scary for him, I believe both email and text would have worked. And if he didn't want to read Shanann's response to his news, then he didn't have to open her responses. Now there he is in Colorado, safe and sound with his girl. His ex is gone, his kids are safe, and later on, when tempers die down, well, he could have arranged for visitation, if he wanted, or not if he didn't. Whatever Shanann was, for sure she was young and gorgeous and would have remarried. Chris could have either seen or not seen his children with her at his choice, and he could have married Nicole, who was already looking at wedding dresses. He could have had as many more children as he wanted, and both he and Shanann could have made ex-husband-wife jokes about each other into their old ages. As we know, he didn't go for that. Instead, he spent money he didn't have to fly to North Carolina to bring them back to Colorado to murder all of them. Makes sense. What? Oh, right, it doesn't. Not if he didn't plan to kill the girls. And again, that would be my question. Why did you want to kill the girls, Christopher? What were you hiding when you hid their bodies? If you loved them, you would have A, never gone to North Carolina to fetch them, or B, left them with their grandparents alive and well after dumping your wife. The first one would have been the easiest, but either would have been better than killing them. So maybe now you would try telling me that ridiculous story you told Cato that, quote, Nikki said to go to work on my marriage and I felt all in love. And then she asked me if I was with her and I got all nervous, end quote. Okay, so you went to North Carolina to work on things with Shanann, bringing along with you a deadly dose of opiates to give her in case things didn't work out. All right, except you tried to do her in that very first night, which doesn't seem to allow for a lot of marital improvement. But whatever. Maybe it was a sign. Shanann is meant to live. I think I'll just fly back to Colorado feeling really good about not getting caught attempting to murder my pregnant wife and call it a day. Nope, I think an even better plan is to go spend time at the beach with everybody, then fly them back and kill all of them. Why did Chris, who was planning to kill Shanann, at least according to his story to Cato, kill his children? Why? He brought them back to Colorado to kill them. He knew Shanann was going away to Arizona. He knew that would let him kill the girls without interference, and he did kill them. They were both dead, or at least deeply unconscious, before she got back. And why did he feel so compelled to kill them all that night? His only excuse is that it was because his girlfriend would find out Shanann was pregnant the next day. But he says she already knew, and I believe him. Besides, even if she didn't, Shanann at that point was so willing to please Chris that she wasn't going to post it on Facebook if he had said not to. Which is still so stupid because it was already all over her Facebook page. So what would one more post more or less matter? We know he actively chose instead to kill not just Shanann but the girls. Why did you kill the children, Chris? If you knew you were going to leave Shanann, why did you just not leave her alone in North Carolina? Why fly to North Carolina, attempt to kill her, and after that failed, bring her back with the children? And if you weren't planning to kill them, you were going to do what with them? Make sure they didn't miss you killing their mother? No, you were going to kill them, weren't you? That's why they were brought back, isn't it? But why, Chris? Why did you kill the children, and why that night? What was happening the next day? Let's see. Well, Shanann had a doctor's appointment. Did you kill her and the children to keep her from going to that? I know copays are a real bitch, but that seems extreme. We know you said you were afraid of her talking to Ronnie if you had let him FaceTime with her on her last night alive. She might have told Shanann something too that night, but you were going to kill Shanann when she got home anyway, weren't you? Whatever secrets there were would have died with her. And if you weren't deliberately targeting Bella, Chris, why didn't you leave those children in North Carolina? If you feared Nicole didn't want to be a stepmother, I think that the Rusheks, your own parents, or Jamie and Robert would have all stepped up to the plate for the girls. So why did you kill the children? Why did you kill the children? Did you kill them to protect Shanann? Were they Shanann's secrets you were killing them for, Chris? Had Shanann been hurting the girls and you didn't want them to tell? You couldn't leave them safe in North Carolina either, could you? Because they might have told their grandparents, and you had to protect Shanann's terrible secrets. You couldn't let Bella enjoy her first day of kindergarten because she might have told someone Shanann's secrets. This same Shanann whom you first accused of murdering the children back in confession number 1? But it seems a crappy way of protecting her secrets to kill both the girls and her, whose secrets you were protecting. Or was it not her secrets you were protecting either, Chris? You destroyed their little bodies, Chris, making sure that whatever secrets they may have could never be told. And then you sealed their medical records and refused your parents the power of attorney to open them again. Why? Why did you kill the children, Chris? You said that the cadaver dogs hiding in the basement must have been because a demon was down there. What a stupid, stupid lie, even by your own standards. You killed them all down there, didn't you, Chris? Or tried to anyway. But again, can I ask why you lied about even that? What are you hiding? Why did you kill the children? Okay, that's the end of it. I'm going to unmute 2 of them. Okay, people are taking that as Shanann bashing, and I want to say I don't think it's bashing. Mel, are you there? Ooh. So do you guys understand kind of how she wrote it? She's using sarcasm. Melissa, what do you think of that? I mean, what are you getting? Are you picking up on the sarcasm?
Yes, I am. It's like she's talking to herself, like she's answering the questions to herself.
Right.
I mean, it's not, I don't think she's not necessarily bashing Shanann. She's just talking in her head, just answering for herself.
Right, like she's making fun of the stupid lies that Chris told. And that's why she brought up. That's why she brought up. Isn't that when you blamed her for hurting the girls in the beginning in your confession?
She even says on there, she even says they're stupid lies. How stupid. I mean,
right. It's all rhetorical.
Yes.
So when you read it like in its entirety, you'll understand where she's coming from with it. She's trying to say, why did you why did you say these things? What were you hiding? How can we like get to the truth? That's basically what this is for her.
Mhm.
And she's real sarcastic. She's like extremely sarcastic.
I can pick up on her sarcasm. I can pick
Yes,
up on
her
that for sure.
sarcasm is heavy, and it serves a purpose because she's kind of like to the point. So there's no fluff with her. She doesn't want to hear like BS excuses from Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, she's mocking him,
Yeah.
basically.
Mocking him. That's the whole point of it. Yeah, she's mocking him, and she's doing it because she wants to get to the truth. Because nobody just murders, you know, two beautiful little girls and a beautiful woman for, you know, a 5-week affair, a 5 or 6 week affair. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. She feels like there's more involved with that, and she's looking into it. So that's why you get that sarcasm from her. And I don't know who all is in chat because I put my phone down when it kind of went to crap. But let's not let it go to crap. Let's just stay on top of it. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that we need to make it clear that, you know, none of us wrote this. We're reading.
Yeah, and they're erroneously acting as if Shanann's being bashed. That's not.
It's not. Yeah, I wanted to read that myself so that I could grasp it all, like in its entirety.
Right.
Because there's no way for me to understand it unless I read the whole thing. So I totally do get it. I get her style and her sarcasm and where she's coming. And we're just reading this like everybody's freaking out. And
Are they?
I mean, well, I think they're thinking that, you know, Frank's reading this and there's Shanann bashing going on, and that's absolutely not the case. This got blown out of proportion. Now this Jules has gone live about me and you, and it's just like blah blah blah. I just can't. I can't. You know, everything was misconstrued for a minute there.
Okay. Okay. I'm being told that I've been told that that Jules is a psychologist. So if she's gone live to discuss like what you and I have done to try to at least get to the truth and be honest, then something is up with her. Something's wrong with that.
Well, I just don't appreciate it. I've never done anything to this woman, but whatever. I mean, people can do what they want. They can, whatever, say my name, whatever you want to do.
Exactly, so, Tammy.
What did Tammy say?
Read her comment.
Jules of Thought was talking about sexual abuse, WTF.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she's over there ranting and raving, and she hasn't even seen the text of this chapter herself.
Well, I don't think she's really about the truth. I think she's about the drama.
Yeah, you're probably right.
She
was being facetious. That's the word.
Yeah.
So what is the name of the book again?
It's American Pieces.
You're really sounding like you're in a tunnel.
Oh gosh, I wonder if I should turn this off.
Like I hear like in the background, and then you sound like you're in a tunnel.
I'm not. Like, so if I talk like this.
Let's see.
Let me just go back to my phone because I feel like I set all this up for the computer and my microphone, but it must suck. So let me hang up and call you guys back.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you were on your phone.
Then I also feel like it's on a lag, which may be distorting my voice. Okay.
Yeah, call back on your phone.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Riff says it sounds like you're in a UFO. No, Mel's really not about the drama. Jay, listen to your replay. Mel, I can't even read these comments. They're getting deleted. I want to read them. Mel concurred Shanann may abuse the kids. Okay. We will verify that when she comes back. She's not here to comment on that. She hung up, so. And I knew this might get a little iffy. You know, I didn't know we were going to be reading this chapter. I didn't know what was in the chapter. But Mel is not a Shanann basher. I mean, if you guys haven't, you know, heard her lives with me over the past few months, you have to listen to her and see what she's about. Okay, Jewel wasn't the problem, nor Jay or Mel. It's the author's lack of clarity in her writing. I am horrified by Kathleen and also that the Watts approved this. Why do they want to mock and shame Chris? Well, Diana, his family believes that he did it. They don't think anything else other than that he did it. That denial part is over for them. They've accepted that Chris did this. And nobody said Shanann hurt their girl. And you know what? I want to say, and this is just me being honest, you know, this book is still going to get edited. It still could change. I do think that maybe the author is looking for some feedback. And perhaps, you know, this is the feedback that she needs. Some people aren't going to pick up on that sarcasm. Not everybody's going to pick up on it. And some people are going to get bent like they did in chat and not understand it. Right, Poison Ivy, exactly. And it might not be well received to some people. That's just what I'm seeing. Jay, she is calling you a bitch. Well, that's nice. Never did anything to that lady. So maybe she's looking for feedback. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for the author, but all I did was read it, guys. I don't shoot the messenger. Well, they're calling me a POS on Jewel's channel. That's sweet. You're right, Prepper. You can't keep a good bitch down. So you can't please everybody. Let her say what she's gonna say. I'm not giving her any views. I can tell you that. I've always been very, very respectful to her. I've always been respectful to her. So she can rant all she wants. Or putting my name in her title. Doesn't seem like she's supporting me too much. Jay is for justice and Mel are liars and manipulators. 45 watts. It is high school stuff, and what I'm talking about is not high school stuff. This is actually going on. This is a book that's being written right now. I brought you the first chapter of it. I really think Jewel misheard Mel when Mel was not coming in so clear when she read it. She said something like hiding Shanann's secret, but Mel meant the pregnancy. I just don't. Cindy, Jules has always respected me. She's not respecting me when she's calling me a liar. Nicolette, Jay, I perceive this as Chris's family going against his letter and his truth. How does Chris feel about this? Does he not want his testimony out now? I don't know, Nicolette. I just know that his family has accepted that he has done this. Yeah, if you guys have something, a problem or something you want to say, you can email me. I am open to emails. I am open to messages on Facebook. You can hit me up there. I mean, thank you, Tifa Bean. Jules of Thought sounds like a very angry woman. She is going on and on about you, Jay. Like you and Mel are out here speaking with ill intentions. You're not. She's just not listening. Much love to you, Jay. Thank you, Tifa Bean. I appreciate that. Slow it down more? Sunny, I know the Ruseks are hurting. I completely understand that. I have never said that they weren't. I've always said that both both families are they're all hurting. Wow, this is the most hate that I have ever received. So just for reading a chapter of the book, this is why everyone is so upset? There's going to be lots of books written about this case. Do you guys not realize that? This is probably just the tip of the iceberg. It went nuts when Frank came on. Yeah, Frank said BS. And I think that Frank did not take the way it was written. The way it was written. I think he was taking it literally. It wasn't. So prepper. Melissa, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just reading chat.
Yeah,
This,
so
this case brings out all the.
Well, it does, and I guess AD made a video about me too. So I think some of his people are here. I don't know. Apparently, I'm stranded on Watts Island with a few other people, wherever that is, like Gilligan's Island. It sounded more literal when Mel was reading it. I got concerned too. Okay, maybe it was just her, like the way she was reading it. But gosh, you guys, calm down. Take a deep breath. Take a step back. And breathe. Because no one was here to bash anybody except Chris Watts.
Okay.
Welcome back, girl. I'm not taking down any video. We didn't do anything wrong.
What video are you being asked to take down?
I'm not being asked. I guess Jules is saying that she bets I'm going to take this down because I know she's right or some crazy crap like that. I don't know. It's drama. I'm not playing the drama. I am totally keeping this up. And I'm not going to make this dramatic. So if you want to talk to me about it and you want to discuss it, I'm totally open to that. Email me, hit me up on Facebook. We can get on a chat. I don't care. I mean, we can get on a call together and talk, but I'm not going to make this something it's not. And that's what's just happened. But, people are going to say what they want.
Well, no, that's because of her. As far as, just block that out. What does everybody else think? I mean,
no, everybody else is kind of, they get the gist of it and, they think it's being blown out of proportion.
Okay.
So, apologies to Frank if he popped in and heard it a certain way and thought it was being said in another way.
And like I told you, Frank is, he's been provided with the first chapter so that he can look at it himself. So if anything was like misconstrued or taken wrong, his lawyer has it and he can get with his lawyer and they can listen to it together to make their own assumptions, or to just listen to it and understand that it truly is about finding the truth. And that's what he asked for. And that's what everybody's looking for. And nobody's trying to disrespect Shanann. I did explain that, Kathleen gets attached to her girls, the girls she writes about, and Shanann is one of the girls she's writing about. So nothing's kept from anyone. So Frank will get to absolutely 100% read the first chapter and he can respond. Everything's been done respectfully. So
okay, so this wasn't a big surprise, something that was never heard before.
No, I mean it was definitely a surprise.
It was shared. No, I mean it was shared with them.
Yeah.
It's not like we just blindsided Frank.
Oh no, not at all. Because before I was even allowed to read this out on your channel, Kathleen made sure that the Rusak's lawyers had been emailed. So, it was shared.
But there's nothing in there that is blaming Shanann. So I don't understand why everybody's got their panties in a wad.
I don't either, but you know what? I'm not playing into it, and I'm not going to give it life. She can rant over there all she wants. I don't really know what she's ranting about. Maybe she saw 800 people in here and thought she wanted to take 100. I don't know.
No, that's the thing about her, that like I really respected her in the beginning, and I really tried to because I reached out to her because she was so ugly to Kelly. I reached out to her and tried to make peace, and I did, try to speak to her and tell her our side of it and let her decide on her own. And I mean, she seemed like she was going to be kind enough, but I feel like she came in here and created chaos and
Yeah.
unnecessary chaos. And then, you know,
Well, you know what?
gosh,
That's the
if
thing.
she brought
Well,
Frank in here and had Frank's get his panties in a wad, like that's really messed up.
well, it's sick. It's sick. Like, leave them alone. Like, no one was saying anything bad about them or Shanann.
Right.
I don't do that here. And I mean, if Frank wants to go back and watch all of our lives together, never once have we done that. So I'm not going to give her life. I don't give any of these drama creators life. She can do what she wants, but I'm going to do what I want on my channel. And I know what I'm about. I know what I stand for. I know what I allow and don't allow. And that's why I'm not going to get worked up about it. So
Well, no,
I
don't,
want to
don't,
say
don't.
thank you for sharing that with us here. Thank you to Kathleen for allowing you to share that here.
Yeah, wasn't it pretty amazing? Like,
Yeah, and it
honestly,
gives
take
us
the
like
drama out of it and take the chat out of it. And no, I don't. I don't want to take the chat out of it because I love everybody in chat. They're amazing. I'm reading the best messages. I just wanted to say that, it was amazing. It was an amazing first chapter. I am like on the edge of my seat, waiting to find out what she finds out. Like, she really investigates and tries to get to the bottom of everything. So, all those, questions as to why he did what he did, I have complete and total faith that she's going to actually get those answers for us.
well, I'm really excited to see what she digs up and to see the finished product. And like I was telling chat when you hung up and you were switching to your phone, there's going to be a lot of books that come out about this case. This isn't it. There's going to be so many. And, you got to, we're going to read them all. So I guess everybody needs to kind of calm down a little bit. Thank you, Carolina girl. She says, Jay, I enjoyed your recent live with Mel that Jamie attended in chat. Do you think she will do a collaborative with you about the case? After tonight, and seeing how people behave, I don't even know if I'd want to bring her on this platform. I'm really disappointed in how some people have acted in here. I've always
I respect that. I respect that you said that. I respect that, like, you can look at the chat and decide, like, is Jamie safe to speak here?
Yeah, I mean, is
Everybody
it
wants
worth
Jamie to speak
me?
out.
Is it worth me
Everybody.
bringing her on here and having people act like this?
Right.
I just don't know. I just don't know if it's even worth it. Because I'm not
Exactly.
about the views. If it's gonna put Jamie in a vulnerable place, I don't want to do that. So, that's something that I would have to think about. And maybe not even going live. Maybe, like I said, taking some questions, talking to Jamie, asking her those questions if she wanted to do that, and just recording it and putting it out and turning off commenting. I'm not going to put her out there to get attacked. None of these people deserve to get attacked. The only person that deserves any kind of backlash is Chris himself. So we'll see. We'll see. That's something I'm going to have to rethink. I really wanted to do it, and I was really, really proud of her for feeling comfortable. But if I was her and I watched this tonight, I wouldn't be comfortable anymore because adults can't act like adults.
No.
So
regarding what you did read, and
I liked it.
The amount of people that stuck around. What do you? I mean, what kind of questions are there in regards to what has been heard so far? What I read. Now that Jules has taken her people with her.
So what kind of
What-
questions do you have about, you mean about what we read, the first
What
chapter?
we read? Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Pretty Bird said I liked the first chapter.
Yeah. Awesome.
Truth or
I
Sleuther says Jay hasn't ever in any chat been disrespectful of any victim in any case. As long as I've listened to her in 2 years, Jay is compassionate, respecting, loving person on any video. Thank you, Truth or Sleuther.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, do people go after reporters like this who just are messengers? I mean, but okay, so
Yeah,
I'm just a girl
probably.
walking in a spider web said, I think she definitely gets my attention with her first chapter.
Oh my God, yes. Yes, exactly.
Gwen says, I think Kathleen was trying to find out motive. Think book will be good.
Yes, absolutely. She is. Motive.
The chapter was well written. I like the point of view, speaking as she is mocking Chris Watts' lies. Yeah, it's a totally different angle.
Oh my God, she totally gets it. Yeah,
Mhm.
Exactly. It's totally rhetoric.
Prepper, you're my favorite chatter. Hands down. Let's see. The only reason people's panties are in a bunch is because the book has to do with Cindy. Could be. But I think they also maybe took the context wrong.
No,
I think the context was...
It's not about Cindy. It's actually about everybody outside of Chris. It's
Does
just
she plan on
that
talking
Cindy...
to Chris?
Good question. I mean, she doesn't put a lot of stock in it, but the point of her book is to acknowledge everybody around Chris and not Chris. But what was leaked was her communication with Cindy. So, she also documents her communication that she has with any other person who wants to interview with her and come forward. But unfortunately, her book is in progress, and what was leaked was Cindy's portion. So it's not like the entire book has been leaked or anything. It's like only a tiny fraction has been leaked, right? Right.
Hillary says the author has all the questions we all have.
Yes.
Ash says sometimes it's just simple. Not everything is complicated.
Yes.
Pretty Bird says it's like she was standing in front of Chris and confronting his lies. I love it.
Who said that? Because that's
buried
amazing.
now. Ash 274 said that.
Okay.
And
Ash
then Lori
gets
P is chastising me about my sound quality. Lori P's telling me how to run a live. Let's see. Oh, okay. So a lot of people, this book has been called Cindy's book, and I think that's where a lot of this comes from too. Is that I think a lot of people thought she was just collabing with Cindy and writing a book.
Nope. She's collabing with anybody who wants to talk to her and tell the truth.
Like reading a play with no answers, so tone isn't written. Was saying it was Chris, not Shanann, hurting the girls and hiding everything.
It's like a play with no answers.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, well,
Have you
no,
all told Chris about this book
it,
and its point of view? What are his thoughts on it?
so it was the first chapter. So of course we don't know yet. We haven't read all the chapters of her book yet. Only the first. As far as what Chris thinks about Sherilyn's book, was that the question?
The question, I don't know where it was. Kathleen has taken the scenario Cato had in her book. Why?
Can't answer that because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's all getting buried. It's moving so fast.
Winches might be getting a little tired.
I think people have mellowed out towards Cindy since Cindy has accepted the fact that her son killed the.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's like reading a play with no answers, so tone isn't written. Okay, I think the time frame Kathleen is taking to wrote and put out this book alone speaks volumes to the validity of its content. Unlike Cato, who was so worried about money, she didn't even care to spell check.
Yeah.
Oh, have you all told Chris about this book and its point of view? What are his thoughts on it?
I think he's aware of it, and honestly, I mean, it really doesn't involve Chris very much, because it's written on with the point of view from everybody around Chris. Like, instead of how Cato went to Chris to get all of these answers and these questions kind of squared away in everybody's mind, which didn't work. Kathleen is actually interviewing people who had been in contact with either Chris or Shanann. So it's
that's
more
why it's more broad. It's more broad. And from
it's very broad. She hasn't even, she's interviewed quite a few already, but she still has so many people to interview. So she's taking her time, and if she doesn't have it out during the time frame she says she's going to have it out, that's because she's doing more interviews and getting more information.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sheila Pink Ladybug says, I will buy the book. These are not Cindy's questions. These are the author's questions. Like, she's asking Chris questions and then she's kind of mocking what his answers were and what his answers have been in the past. She's going over the different confessions and all the different stories that he's told. So I don't know. I don't know if Kathleen's looking for some feedback on this first chapter. But it seems like a lot of people aren't picking up on the sarcasm. And I get that that's her style of writing. Yeah. But it's not a simple write like Cato's was. Like, hers was just, very, very, very simple, but hard to follow.
Yeah. Well, Kathleen's is, I think really everybody needs to read it for themselves, because I don't think that you really grasp it when you have somebody else reading it to you, because of her humor and her presentation. I think it's something that needs to be read on paper. She's an author. She's a born author, and so
this is her art. This is how she writes. This is
exactly, yeah.
You don't have to read it if you don't like her style of writing. You don't have to read it. But again,
this may definitely be one of those situations where she writes something and it needs to be read by the person who's wanting to consume it, because if you read it for somebody else, you can't.
I feel like you need to see the punctuation and everything in
Yes,
the writing. If you
yes.
don't see the punctuation, it does sound confusing. So if
Yeah.
that makes any sense, looking at it on paper and at the text, seeing the punctuation really helped.
God, when
So
you can't
yeah,
do
it's something you have to have
somebody's
your
words,
eyes on.
when you can't do her words justice by reading it, that's how you know you've come across a true author.
I agree. And I think that, the first chapter sounds good to me. I'm really excited to read the rest. I mean, you go from the first book that came out, in an interview that's done right after that first book comes out, and the author and the person that interviewed her are joking about the size of Chris Watts' penis. So I would think that people should be more in a tizzy about something so crass and unprofessional to even bring up if you want to be taken seriously. But here we are reading the first chapter of this book, and it's like, ah!
Yeah.
I just
Well,
want
you know,
everybody to take a
I'm
step back. Chill, man, chill. But,
I'm
I do have a
reading.
lot of support in here. The people that are still here that are making comments and
I'm
being respectful are the ones that I want here.
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of positive feedback regarding
Yes.
Kathleen's work.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
see a lot. Yeah, I see a lot of people saying that they enjoy her sense of humor and her sarcasm.
Yeah, and
And
just
so
wait,
I
I want to clarify
really
something
like.
because people think that we were joking about the size of his hands. No, that
Uh-uh,
was in
no.
an interview with Critical K and the author, and Cato brought up the fact that she was that she couldn't stop staring at his little hands, and then went to talk about the size of his penis because he had small hands and small feet.
Right.
And they laughed and joked about it. So that was not coming from Mel and I. That was something we were discussing because I thought it was very unprofessional, and it says a lot about that author. Who does that? Who puts out a book to the world and then goes on a channel with Critical K and brings something like that up? You guys gotta open your minds, man. You gotta use your common sense and look at what is going on around you. Look at these people. Look at what they're saying. Listen to them. Listen to the
Mhm.
things they say because it says a lot about them.
I
Fairly
agree.
vague. Wow. And people in here saying that was you. That was not me. Go back and listen to her live over there. It's very unprofessional. It's almost embarrassing. I was embarrassed for her. She obviously had nothing else, substantial to talk about through this journey of writing with Chris Watts, visiting with Chris Watts, talking to him on the phone, and that's what she brought up in her first interview after the book coming out. That to me speaks volumes. I don't know about you guys, but it does to me.
Salix Smith says Mel didn't say anything about Frank, so I'm guessing somebody has said something. I don't know. I just want to make it clear I'm not going to feed into any drama or
Mm-mm.
even play like that.
No, it's been removed. That comment was removed, so don't even worry about it.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
Yeah. Because I'm not disrespecting anybody when I talk at all.
So a lot of people in here think Cato was in love with Chris Watts or falling for him in some way. Almond Joy said, I lost all respect for whoever this author is as soon as I found out who she hangs out with. You are the company you keep. You are the company you keep. And Mel, you're good people. And don't let this get you down. Don't walk away from this feeling like, oh my gosh, there was so much negativity. There was a shit show. that was a blip in the whole
Yeah.
message that we try to get out there. So please don't walk away from this discouraged, because a lot of
Aw.
people appreciate you, including myself.
Look at you guys.
Yep. Just let the drama, don't give it life.
Almond Joy and True Helper.
I love them.
Oh,
Mel, you are wonderful.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks. It's been a long night, right?
It can be
Lots
rough.
of
And you know
on
what, Mel? We're
today.
going to have nights like this. We're never going to get everybody to agree. We're going to have nights. And you just have to let it roll off your back. And that's why I say I don't know if I would want to bring Jamie into this. I feel like I don't. I don't think she's ready. You, on the other hand, you know, you're a little separated. You're not living the life that she's living, you know?
Thank you, Luciana.
Mel
Oh my
shouldn't
God.
get her panties in a wad.
Did you saw that too?
Yeah.
I'm looking at all these sweet messages and they mean so much to me that everybody's putting them up there. And then she says, "Don't get your panties in a wad." It's like, girl, pull your pants up and just, put your big girl panties on.
Keep it moving. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Love Lucy. Love Lucy. Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So guess we're doing this.
We're doing it. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Trust me.
Yeah. It was a long night.
But the people that matter are the ones that are here, that are being supportive, that are being open-minded. The ones that don't matter are the ones that just, want to be negative and they want to insult. That's not going to get anyone anywhere. So that's not really the people I want to converse with anyways.
No, not at all. And we put that first chapter out there, and I think everybody understands how to receive it, and to keep in mind that Kathleen she's a brilliant mind, and she made a lot of valid. She put a lot of valid questions out there for everybody to sort of take and analyze, and if you see something within that you're just like, wait a minute, I never thought about that. I mean, speak up, because we're all just trying to find the truth.
Thank you, Carolina girl. She said, thanks, Jen and Mel.
Good.
Well, Mel, I just want to thank you for bringing that here. I didn't expect that, but I think it was very interesting. I think it gives us some insight as to, the direction this book is going to go and how it's going to be written. And I really can't wait to read it. I really can't. So.
Right. Yeah, me too.
All right.
Yeah.
And we kind of meshed the text in with this live, and I know we kind of lost the gist of it, but there's going to be the replay, and we just want everybody to see both sides of what's going on out here. Beetle's going on Kay's channel, portraying herself as this lovable grandmother, but she really, has been quite vile. Thank you, Jenny Hansen.
Yeah, thank you. So sweet.
I will definitely keep this video up. I'm not going to take it down. Shit happens. It's not the end of the world. It's not the first time that people have gone after me. I've survived worse. And Mel, so have you. So have you.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys give Mel lots of love. I mean, she puts herself out there to come out and speak on behalf and try to help her friends, and she's a good person. Don't come on here and say negative things. If you don't have anything good to say, just keep it moving. All I ask. But I really respect you, and I want to thank you for coming on, and I hope you don't walk away from this with like, feeling bad or anything like that. You shouldn't.
No, I won't. I promise.
Okay.
I won't.
I'm going to check on you. Because I know this can get to people, it's like, you guys got to think, this is one of Mel's friends. Her brother did this. So, kind of keep that in the back of your mind when you're about to say something. She's a confidant for her friend. So you can probably imagine the emotional turmoil that her friend shares with her. That's a lot to have on your shoulders, and it's a lot to put yourself out there on a public platform with 800 people. So take that into consideration before you put your fingers on your keyboard and start writing something mean. That's it.
Right.
That's it. I love you, Mel.
Love you.
Thanks a lot, and have a good rest of your night. Get to sleep. I know you're probably way past your bedtime.
Oh my God.
2 nights in a row.
Yes, I am. Oh, fair word. All right.
Thanks, Mel. I'll talk to you soon.
No, thanks.
Good night, Mel.
Yeah. Good night. Bye.
Bye. All right. So thanks you guys for tuning in. I know it got a little chaotic in here, but let's not make it more than it is. If you're confused on the first chapter, go back, reread it. I'm going to actually post it in my Facebook group right now when I get off of here. That way you can read it. You can read it. You can see it for yourself, and maybe it will, kind of mean a little bit something different when you read it yourself. So if you're not in, hi Hazel, if you're not in the Facebook group, it's J is for Justice podcast. Go ahead and join. I'm going to post that in there right now. And I'm sorry, Melissa, you kind of just,
That's
the rest
okay.
of that, I feel bad. You were just kind of sitting there, but it got a little crazy. So.
Well, I don't want to say, I don't feed into the drama. So
Right, I know.
It's better to ignore. And
It is. But thank you for coming on and reading those with me again.
No problem. It was my pleasure.
And if everybody could hit the like or hit the dislike if you didn't like it, whatever you want to do. It's all about interaction. So I don't care if you give me a thumbs down. But if you could give me a thumbs up if you liked this live, that would be great. And thank you again for my mods. I know you guys were overwhelmed tonight, but you guys did a great job. So love for Shanann's family, absolutely, Southern Gal, and love for the Watts family. All right, Melissa, I will talk to you soon. I'm sure we'll be live again together. And I'm going to go actually eat my pizza. I got here an hour and a half ago.
You didn't eat any of it yet?
No!
Oh my gosh. Well, cold pizza is better though.
I know it is. I'm all good. I don't care if it's cold or hot. All right. So thanks, guys, again. And thanks, Melissa. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a great night. Love y'all.